White Sox lose, and I am numb. It's time to start the postgame show. CHGO White Sox post-game show coming to you live from Studio A of our CHGO offices here in the West Loop of Chicago. This post-game is presented to you by Bet365. Whatever the moment, it is never ordinary with our friends over at Bet365. Use code CHGO365 when you sign up. Welcome in to the CHGO White Sox postgame show. I am your host, Sean Anderson. We are coming to you live after a White Sox loss. They lost 3-2 in 10 innings, and I don't know why I got my hopes up at all. For some reason, I thought, especially after the top of the 10th, they could win this game. And they lost. And this is now 144 losses in the past 190 games, or 142 losses in the past 190 games. They lost 121 this year, 21 already this year. It's 142 of their past 190. So, woo! Chat's having a great time. Southside Sox says depressing. Great. And then also, I think every other comment outside of Luke saying they won 10-3 yesterday, that's why you got your hopes up, is saying Andrew Vaughn to Charlotte, when is Tim Elko coming up? All right, so you guys know what the show is going to be about. Joey Christopoulos is our producer today. Hi, Joey.
How's it going, man?
Oh,
nothing like stranding, 9 runners on base and having a guy thrown out at third, and Andrew Vaughn caught in a pickle between third and home. What could have been?
Yeah, I mean, the worst of the crimes is Andrew Vaughn. The worst of the crime is Andrew Vaughn running on contact when he could have just stayed at third base. There was nobody pushing him going home. There was no force. There was no reason for him to go there. Thankfully, Matt Tice was able to get to third after Vaughn got caught in the rundown. But yeah, that was even still hairy there. They could have had a real just ugly out at pretty much in between home and third, and then an out at third base all in one play. Like the Vargas one, I didn't hate because it was a little bit of hustle. And then even Gordon's like, oh, hey, I was even surprised that Soderstrom had a play there. So I didn't hate the Vargas hustle, and Vargas is like 24. It's way different than slow, pudgy, short Andrew Vaughn.
Those are adjectives.
Bald? Did I say bald?
Adjectives of the athlete, yes.
Bald, weak. Someone asked me today, why am I complaining so much about this team? And it's like, again, they've lost 142. Do you have a bleep? Do you have a bleep there, Joey? Do we have a dump button? Can I say the F word? I just want to say.
Let me find it, then you can go nuts.
I just want to say the F word so badly. Yeah. I don't mind the Vargas thing. And then what was the other one that you threw out? I mean, the guy's left on base. I mean, that's fine. It's just mainly like you have somebody you have like pretty decent amount of confidence in, Jordan Leisure, and he has a disgusting slider to JJ Bleday that just gets you excited. It's like, oh, here's the guy we got from the Dodgers. That Lance Lynn and Joe Kelly trade are starting to, plant their seeds. Really get their roots
only a matter
out
of
in the
time.
ground. And then it's not even like Brent Rooker, the all-star. It's not Lawrence Butler, a guy with an enormous amount of swag. It's not, Tyler Soderstrom, who is leading the major leagues in home runs. It's not Shea Langoliers, a former first-rounder. It's Luis
Brent
Urias.
Rooker hitting a broken bat, almost home run today.
Luis Urias goes deep on a fastball down the pipe. It was up in middle, and it was an absolute meatball that Urias crushed. And the one thing that I'm happy that I won't have to see until next year, because I won't watch any Sacramento games because I have no reason to, that is truly a minor league ballpark.
It's a tough look.
It's like, it feels like it's neighbors with that one building that's like behind it. Like, it feels like there's like a small little alley, and then like there's actual business being conducted right behind left field. Like, they're hitting home runs right onto pedestrians.
On the foul balls, I was worried that a golden retriever, was going to shoot through the fields there and snatch one out, or maybe we just skip into whatever mini mall it probably dumps itself off to. They got to play another year in that place.
Yes, and hey, and Sox Haps mentions, meanwhile, the homeless A's are 500 somehow, while the Sox could only dream of a record anywhere near that. Later on in the show, we'll be talking about Tankathon. We'll be talking about the tank standings. We'll be rolling a couple rounds of Tankathon because why not? We're 7-21, folks. But the thing is, do you have the graphic made already, Joey?
Yeah, we're ready to roll.
Just flash it right now. We're not going to go to Tankathon just yet, just because Sox Hat mentions that the A's are 500. The teams that are on this outside of Colorado and the White Sox are kind of somewhat surprising. Like, it's not super surprising that Pittsburgh, who spent zero money, is on this, but also you'd think that they'd be able to get somewhere, especially with Paul Skeens having like a 0 ERA still. Baltimore, of all people, are in the bottom 5, the team that we kept trying to trade all of our pitchers to. They could have had Garrett Crochet. They could have had Dylan Cease, and here they are right next to us.
Are they like the 2022 White Sox? They had the buildup with all the prospects. Everything's going great. We don't need to spend money outside the organization, and balloon pops.
27 games. So,
very fair.
Maybe they're able to get back.
I'm just reading the math on the screen.
Yeah, no, ugly. Definitely could have that type of that type of turn. And then you have St. Louis. But still, the best thing for the White Sox and Colorado Rockies is, there's 3 games in between the White Sox and Baltimore Orioles. So even between second and third, White Sox have a nice cushion there. They're just chasing down the terrible Colorado Rockies, who are apparently on pace to be just as bad as the White Sox are in 2024. And that's perfect because ALLCITY also has a DNVR branch. That's where it all started. So, no matter the outlet, no matter the city, we will have you covered at ALLCITY for the worst Major League Baseball team ever assembled.
Our promise to you.
We got about 40 people watching. We got about 3 people who have liked the video. If you are being so kind to comment, please hit that thumbs up button and make sure you hit that thumbs up button or make sure you hit that thumbs up. But how many times can I say that? Hit that thumbs up button.
Yeah. Repetition. It helps
say
people.
It again.
Hit that thumbs up button.
There you go. If you would be so kind.
A couple people just did. Thank you for that.
Saying the whole season is going to be a roller coaster. We're going to score a lot. We're going to score very little. It'll be like this for a while. Just don't get too high or get too low. Absolutely. I think it was just because it's the A's that I got excited for this game. And Davis Martin coming out after the opener and pitching pretty well. Hey, Davis Martin, how you doing? And Jonathan Cannon, even yesterday. Like, there were some decent things from this series to take away. And hey, as AJ, baseball kid, mentioned on X, diehard member, going 1-2 against the A's isn't the end of the world because it helps the tank. And 2025 is not about hanging a banner. It's about being terrible again and hopefully being finally rewarded for being terrible with the number 1 overall pick in 2026, the number 2 overall pick. Nothing lower than that.
I want to set you up on this take because I'm really interested to hear your perspective on. I want your take on going the opener the last 3 days. Now, it could be a matchup thing, but to do it throughout the whole rotation, sometimes it might be more of an individual, maybe to get off to a good start. But Sean Burke, yes. Sean Burke, no. Cannon, yes. Davis Martin, yes. Does this have staying power? Is this short term? What is your larger take on them going opener the last 3 days?
I think it's a very fair question, Joey. Look at you. Yes, this was the 3rd straight day that the Sox used openers. Tyler Gilbert was used on Friday, and Brandon Eisert was Gilbert was used on Friday and Saturday, and then Eisert was used today. I am fine with it It's something I thought we would have saw more from Brian Bannister before because they used that a lot in San Francisco. So I wasn't too shocked by it. I think what it ends up coming down to is just the makeup of the A's roster. You have players that have just seen these White Sox pitchers about 2 weeks ago. And then also Butler's a lefty, and then
Soderstrom's in there too.
Soderstrom's a lefty. I think you're just trying to avoid the power lefties in that lineup right there, and just try to, at least the first time through the order, not have your starter face those guys. I don't hate it. I'm always for the White Sox trying new things. It wasn't like, it wasn't like a terrible. I think Jonathan Cannon was fantastic.
It moderately
7
worked.
2/3.
Moderately worked.
Yeah, moderately worked. I mean, you end up losing, 2 of the 3 games, but still, I mean, what's his face? Martin was great today. 6 innings, 3 hits, no earned runs, 2 walks, 5 Ks. I thought he could even have went a 7th inning. Only 73 pitches. They ended up going to Cam Boozer, and I think that was because more lefty power. He ended up facing or starting that inning off against a lefty, but I think it's mainly because of lefties. So, like, maybe it's something they end up working out and using a little bit more, but I don't know.
Yeah. Is Shane Smith maybe the only one that
mainly had to do with the makeup of the A's actual lineup?
Yeah, I'd say maybe Shane Smith is the only pitcher that I wouldn't do this to now.
Well, I disagree.
Really?
Because he's the one guy that, especially when you get into the third time through, that's when his stuff starts to degrade. His stuff also starts to degrade once he hits just the 5th and 6th inning. He seems like a guy that might need somebody that picks up the first inning or is at least, tag teamed behind him to pick up some slack. Because I don't know if he's a guy that can, especially come June and July when you get into the dog days of the season. I don't know if he's going to have that true tank of a starter. Like, he's been effective, absolutely, but he really hasn't been effective in the 5th, 6th, or 7th inning when he's gotten there because the stuff really starts to fall off. So I wonder if he can even have the true length of a starter. Maybe he is actually a guy that you end up, tagging an opener with, or at least having somebody ready to go in the back.
And that's a fair point. Maybe they are short. Maybe these are short-term fixes throughout the course of a long season. I found it to be very interesting that you backed up by only 1 inning Davis Martin and Jonathan Cannon, guys that have had problems with the control the last couple of starts. Davis Martin didn't really seem to enjoy it in that 2nd inning there, but he got it together, pitched a great game, and both of those guys seem to harness the strike zone a little bit better this time around.
Yeah, no, I mean, absolutely fantastic job by Martin, especially bottom of the 3rd. There was a Rooker hit to start the not to start the inning. Schumann led off the inning with the single, and then Rooker had another hit that moved Schumann to 3rd, so it was runners at 1st and 3rd, but then Martin had 3 straight Ks. He had a really good day. I don't know if, like, Cannon and Martin are going to be guys on this rotation, and I think that's really the question that most people have when they're watching teams, or this team specifically, is, who can I actually start attaching to? Somebody mentioned Caro in the comments. That's a guy you should attach yourself to. If you're a guy that buys jersey, if you're a person that buys jersey, if you're a woman that buys jerseys, Caro is a safe jersey to buy. I think that that's going to be somebody that at least plays 5 years here in Chicago. I think it's safe to say that, and he's been absolutely phenomenal to watch so far. Before we do hit our first break, and we'll continue the talk, if you have any thoughts in the comments, Joey will be monitoring those, so hit us up in the comments again, and also make sure you hit the thumbs up button as well to show some support. But so far on the year, I believe it's been updated. Yeah, Caro hitting .344, on base percentage of .462, slugging .406, and that is in 32 plate appearances. Had another single today, and I think that was the 10th. Let me check my notes. I think that was the 10th that he ended up.
He did single in the 10th.
He ended up singling in the 10th. Robert also had the single the opposite way to drive in the second run for the Sox. But yeah, then Caro singled going opposite way. He was batting lefty, hit it pretty much right back at the shortstop. But the shortstop was shadowed a little bit more up the middle. So Caro had another single in the 10th. And then everyone's guy, your guy, my guy, Andrew Vaughn grounded into a double play. So
Let's go to break.
That's amore. All right, let's take a break here on the CHGO White Sox podcast. We want to let you know about our friends over at Empire. Oh, I don't have my bobblehead. We want you to give our friends Empire a call if you are looking to redo the floors in your home. Just like your favorite team needs a home court advantage, your team needs a home floor advantage, and Empire Today can help you get it. Empire Today has flooring experts that are dedicated to flooring. They are flooring professionals who are focused on flooring every single day. Empire versus a big box store. You're going to a big box store, you're dealing with an employee who's like my cousin. And hey, I love my cousin Jake. He's great. Really an attentive person when you're talking to him at a family party. But I also know that he doesn't really care about working at big box store. And I also, understand from him that one day he's working the self-checkouts and making sure nobody's stealing. One day he's shaking paint together, right? The next day he's in flooring. You never know who's going to help you out at these big box stores. At Empire Today, you are getting flooring professionals who work in flooring each and every single day. These are people that live and breathe flooring, and they will be with you every step of the way. It's a whole different ballgame when you use our friends over at Empire Today. Their flooring experts bring the showroom right to your home. You can pick the right flooring and the right colors for your space, and you can see how it looks with your furniture in your house. With Empire Today, you get clear, upfront, and all-inclusive pricing, plus you can schedule an installation as soon as the next day. So to schedule a free in-home estimate today, because some things are better at home, CHGO listeners can receive a $350 off discount when using promo code CHGO, a $350 off discount with code CHGO. Restrictions apply. Visit empiretoday.com/CHGO for full details. We also want to let you know about our friends over at Ray CDJR. Ooh, is it still the Jeep celebration event at Jeep?
I feel it in the air. I think it's still, yeah.
Ooh, is it still time to score a great deal on your next vehicle over on Route 12? You could choose from their huge inventory of new Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram vehicles over at Ray Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram. Right now, get up to $12,000 off MSRP on select new 2024 Jeep Wrangler models with a dealer discount, or lease the new 2025 Jeep Wrangler Sport 4xE for only $129 a month. Plus, shop over 125 vehicles priced under $20,000 with a friendly team of brand experts. The team at Ray CDJR is here to help you during each step of the way of your car shopping journey. Plus, since they prioritize affordability, you won't overpay for the vehicle you need because of Ray's price promise. You can shop confidently with no add-ons or no hidden fees ever. The price you see is the price you pay. So go check out our partner, Ray CDJR, on Route 12. Don't miss out on the Jeep Celebration event going on all month long for huge savings on your next Jeep Wrangler. For more information, visit Ray CDJR today on Route 12 in Fox Lake or online at raycdjr.com. They've been serving the community since 1963. Joey, can I give you a 15-minute review of Studio A?
Really?
I miss it. I miss Studio B. I think it's something about the chairs. As a short person, as somebody, Andrew Vaughn could relate.
The Empire bobblehead dolls in there. The chairs are definitely different. It's kind of your house. It's your cottage. All the other bobbleheads there. You can scream, and it's really well insulated. If you scream in here about the White Sox, it will probably echo throughout the entire CHGO office.
We have people quickly bemoaning what to do with their Brian Ramos jersey. Is Ramos switching numbers? What did Ramos have last year? I thought Ramos was 22.
27?
No, was he 27? Who's 27 now? He was 44. So who's 44 now for the Sox? Am I forgetting somebody? Anyways, I don't know what to do with your Brian Ramos jersey. Yeah. Did he change his number? I don't know. All right, this is terrible radio. He didn't. Make it into a Sebi Zavala jersey. Make it into a Tyler Clippard jersey. Maybe embrace one of the legends. That's what you should do with your Brian Ramos jersey. All right. DMD102 said, why trade for Workman instead of bringing up another prospect? That's a fine question. And honestly, let's answer that before we get into the way that this series with the A's ended up playing out. I believe this was on Saturday. The Cubs and White Sox swap Gage Workman for cash considerations. Luke or Cody, if you guys have any Gage Workman thoughts, feel free. There's a second seat open. I didn't make much of Gage Workman in that acquisition. I think really the thing to answer your question, DM, is because there isn't really anyone ready. I understand that you might say Tim Elko, Tim Elko, Tim Elko, Tim Elko, Tim Elko. They're not the same position. Gage Workman is at least going to play third base for the Sox. He's had some defensive flexibility, being able to play shortstop and second base. Look at this. Luke Stuckmeyer's joining me. Hi, Luke.
And I stopped eating my Italian beef to do it.
I was about to say, where'd you get it from?
Johnny's in Arlington Heights.
Oh, very nice. Is it cold now?
No, but truth be told to the unfortunate person, I ordered one Italian beef and a fry. And when I got here, there's 4 Italian beefs and 2 fries. So you guys have free Italian beefs when you're done.
I thought there were sweet peppers in the air, and I was like, it's just Luke Stuckmeyer, but it's 4 Italian beefs.
So
what's the lowdown on?
You want to know about Gage Tater Workman?
What's the lowdown on
His
Tater?
real middle name is Tater.
His grandfather's real name was Tater,
that's
right?
Mm-hmm.
So
I'm, on the Cubs side of it, I think if in a perfect situation, they would have loved to have found a way to stash the guy in the minors. He's still only 25. The highest where he's really had any success, he hasn't been above Double-A, but because he was a Rule 5 guy, they had to figure out what to do with him. And I kind of feel like he might not have made the team and would have gone back to Detroit had he not had the spring that he did. He was the Cubs' best player in the spring. He had flipped roles with Kyle Tucker. It was like, what happened to Kyle Tucker and who is this Tater guy? So much that I thought we should be making T-shirts that said, I came for Tater's Tater.
Well, hey, we still can because now he's on the south side.
That's right. Now we can.
Do you feel like the Cubs gave him enough run? Because that was the one thing that I thought was a little interesting. You had Shaw come up to start the year for the Cubs, and I know this is kind of turning into a Cubs podcast, but it's more talking about, I don't think Workman really got a shot, and I think the Sox are trying to give him a shot. Shaw was there to start third base. They also had Turner that they were trying to work in. And they even had the question that John Birdie was batting with a righty on the mound. And I was like, why aren't you guys going to Workman, who's at least a lefty and like 6'4"?
I think it's a super easy gamble for the White Sox to make. That's the first team I thought of. I was like, well, why wouldn't the White Sox want to acquire this guy? Tremendous pop, struck out a lot at the lower levels, but had started to cut that back, had this great spring, and the base of him was supposed to be, this guy is an elite defender at third base. So that's why the Cubs could keep him at one point. But he wasn't getting any playing time because first it was Shaw. And then when Shaw came down, he had 3 hits and 3 errors in his time with the Cubs. He wasn't giving the elite defense. He looked overwhelmed by the opportunity. So if that's the case, I still think that the elite defense is there, but maybe the opportunity was just a little too much at the right time, and the Cubs were off to, a first-place start, and they don't want to risk wasting games early in the season when they can't afford to. So that was the move, and I think you could see it coming. Maybe it was a little bit early, but not too early for the White Sox. I think the White Sox got a guy that has some potential.
Yeah, and now they have to DFA Nick Maton. Do you want Nick Maton?
I don't know anything about him.
Okay, well, he wasn't that good.
Well, and all it's costing you is cash consideration. So now he's Gage Tater considerations Workman.
Perfect. You can go enjoy your Italian beef.
Okay, and you can have yours after the show as well.
I'm thrilled.
Pretend like I bought it for you.
I will. Thank you, Luke Stuckmeyer, for the Italian beef and the Gage Tater Workman thoughts. I think that is the main story here. Is his middle name is Tater. Outside of that, he's kind of interesting. I think just going back to DM, like there isn't somebody that I think is immediately pressing at Charlotte that they needed to call up. Again, obviously there is Tim Elko, but I think Tim Elko fits into a completely different conversation because Tim Elko isn't playing third base or shortstop. This was to replace Maton, who was also somewhat of the DH. I could see maybe if you wanted Elko over Gage Workman having some frustration, but I think the Elko move will be coming. We'll talk about Elko in a second because he just won't stop hitting the ball. He won't stop making himself a topic of conversation. But yeah, I mean, whatever. Give him run. I mean, you gave Miguel Vargas a ton of run, and then they finally apparently fixed Miguel Vargas with just a single tweak of his elbow. Miguel Vargas, since changing his stance, 21 plate appearances, 19 at-bats, 8 hits, 1 double, 1 homer, 2 walks, 2 Ks. He's been absolutely fantastic. A batting average over 400. Is that good?
It's pretty good.
Okay, that's pretty good. That's been really exciting to see. And the one thing that we've learned this weekend, both from James Fegan's article up at Sox Machine that I encourage you to read. I don't think I was signed in, even though I am subscribed to them on Patreon. I don't think I was signed in when I did read the article today, so I think it is free to everyone. I would encourage you to go read that. It was great stuff from Ryan Fuller talking about making swing adjustments to Colson Montgomery, and then how we kind of saw it not play out very well to start the season, how they wanted him to kind of cut down on some of his movements. He was making some extraneous movements, kind of going back towards the catcher when the ball was being delivered, so they wanted to cut that out. But then he was starting to be a little bit early and starting pulling balls a little bit more. And that was something that Ian Eskridge noticed, is that he was pulling everything. So it seems like they've tried to figure out Colson's stance issues, so that's been interesting to hear from. Ryan Fuller talked specifically about Tim Elko as well. I think we'll see Elko soon, but what?
Well, I was going to ask you a question, and maybe we can tease it to the other side of the break with Tim Elko. When Tim Elko gets called up for the CHGO White Sox chat, my question for you is, how hard do we party when Tim Elko gets called up? Do we party super hard? It's going to be a long career, so how hard do we go?
I don't think people are excited to party enough. I mean, maybe people are looking for any excuse to party. We have 2 Italian beefs ready to go. So, hey, we got the start of a party already. I think people are just, I think they have to see it. Because that's the whole thing, even with Elko, is like, there's so many question marks of, is this real? Is this even sustainable? You're not even sure if the White Sox even believe if he can sustain this. Like, he's been doing this and killing in AAA. There's no reason for him not to be up if he's not up on Tuesday. You're wondering if he's like maybe done some things to really, put him in a bad light within the organization. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think we'll see. He should be up. At this point, he should be up. He's the only person that I think has this.
We're just going out for a couple sips of Elko. We're not we're not getting a case of Elko. You know what I mean? We're not going to party that hard. Let's party maybe small. And
so that's the thing, Joey, is I think we could be partying really quick, because this could be first pitch, first home run. We're
going streaking.
I think they will likely replace Dahlbeck with Elko. Today. I think once they land in Chicago, they'll make some roster move. There's an off day tomorrow, game on Tuesday against Milwaukee. I think that it is very possible that Leonard says Elko is going to suck like immediately, isn't he? Yes, absolutely. Luke's saying Elko is like 26, right? He's older than other minor leaguers. Yes, absolutely. He was like an old college player. But the whole thing was that he built up this entire kind of mystique at Ole Miss in his senior year. I think he tore his ACL, but was still their best player. I don't know if they led to a national championship, but played very valiantly throughout the College Baseball World Series. And, he's just hit at every single level. And even last year at AAA, he wasn't even hitting this well. And now it's just immense. 5 home runs in his last 4 games. This year, a 354 average, a 432 on base percentage, a 732 slugging percentage, 11 walks to 27 Ks, 4 doubles, 9 home runs, 29 hits altogether. That's 13 extra base hits. He's intriguing, but it's also tough to buy in, because it could be with Leonard, he could not even suck immediately. I have visions of a Yermin Mercedes May for him.
Once Elko hits your lips.
Right, but how bad did Yermin just crash out?
So, I don't know. At least we got a burger out of him and some T-shirts, right? If Elko gets that far.
And hey, This is a free idea. All right, this is the idea machine up here. It's always just cranking out
Sean
things.
Sunday free ideas.
You know, I tweeted out something very similar about like 2 weeks ago. This is going to be Tim Elko in 2 weeks, and it was Yermin Mercedes hitting that bomb off Brad Keller. There is the burger. The Elko burger is very easy. It's an elk burger.
Elk smash.
Elk-O burger. Elko burger. It's an elk burger. You know?
Yeah.
Maybe it's a little too gamey for people, but
no, we'll throw a bunch of bacon on it and some barbecue sauce. We'll be fine. We'll be fine.
All right. Victor Von Doom says Elko has Jake Berger potential. He absolutely does. He also has like Daniel Palka potential. So like, don't get your hopes up on Tim Elko, because even Jake Berger, the success that he's had, I mean, that was a first rounder. Elko was not a first rounder. Let's take a break here on the CHGO White Sox podcast. If you have any more thoughts, Joey will star them in the chat. Let us know and hit that thumbs up button. We want to let you know about our friends over at Sunnyside. Sunnyside Cannabis Dispensary is Chicago's favorite dispensary with locations all over Chicago. It's a place where all kinds of visitors are welcome to explore, discover, and purchase a wide array of high-quality products, and not just in Chicago. They are all over Illinois. Sunnyside has everything you need to elevate your summer. It's a one-stop shop for all your cannabis needs. They have an expertly curated menu with over 100 strains to choose from, plus easy online ordering and in-store pickup. Sunnyside is Illinois' favorite dispensary with locations in the city like Wrigleyville and River North, and in the suburbs like Champaign and South Beloit. My favorite is in Elmwood Park. If you are looking for, options, they got you covered all throughout the Chicagoland area. If you're starting out, Sunnyside has an expert guidance and brands they know you'll love, like Good News and Mindy's. So visit sunnyside.shop for bright buys every day, including 50% off. That's 50% off your first 3 online purchases. Enter promo code HICHGO at checkout to qualify. Exclusions apply. Sunnyside Cannabis Dispensary. Bright buys every day, only for 21 plus or Illinois medical card holders. We also want to let you know about our friends over at Game Time. It is the best way for White Sox fans to get their tickets in 2025. There is no reason to go onto that company with a TM in their name, right? There's no reason to go through MLB.com, right? The way to get your tickets in the new age in 2025 is Game Time. Download the Game Time app. Use Game Time picks if you're looking for some nice up there, she seats. But if you're a White Sox fan and you're just trying to get into the park, their last-minute deals are what you need. You should pull up to the park at 6:38 without a ticket, and you use the Game Time app by 6:40. You'll be walking in through those gates with tickets under probably $10. It is the season to use Game Time. It is the season to get in the door for the low, and Game Time will help you get in for the low. So go check them out. They have last-minute tickets, zone deals. They also have views from your seats. So if you are worried about, possibly being in an obstructed view, they can let you know about that. But the whole point with the last-minute deals is that there shouldn't be obstructed views or bad seats, because it should just be 100-level ticketing only, because the team is bad. And there's only about like 10,000 people in there. So there you go. Anyways, go use our friends over at Game Time. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use code CHGO for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code CHGO for $20 off. Download the Game Time app today, and last-minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed. All right, let's get into at least Friday's game real quick, because there was some pretty decent reason for people to get mad at Luis Robert Jr. Friday's game, 6-5 loss. Sox held the lead until the 6th. Then there was a 5-pitch, 2-out walk from Sean Burke to J.J. Bleday. That just kind of kept the inning alive. Then there was an error in center by Robert. That allowed Bleday to score. That, I think, made it 3-3. Sox were just unable to keep it close after that. They gave up 3 runs in the 7th and the 8th to make it a 6-3 ball game. But then, after a Lenin Sosa leadoff single versus Mason Miller, Brooks Baldwin took Mason Miller deep on a 100-mile-per-hour fastball. Brooks Baldwin might be that guy. He plays every single position on the baseball diamond. He wears, I think, an entire stick of eye black to cover his face. His hat is pulled down below his eyebrows, and he might be our best baseball player. I miss Chase Mydroth deeply, but the up-the-middle combo that I'm hoping for the rest of the season is not Colson Montgomery and Chase Mydroth. I would love it to be Brooks Baldwin and Chase Mydroth. Baldwin's been very, very fun to watch. I would love to see him just get chances to be the shortstop, because if not, we know he could play at every other position. So see if he can do the hardest one first, and let's work from there. But I really do, really have been enjoying Brooks Baldwin this year. He's been insanely fun to watch, and it's been nice to see the hype actually be real and them turn a product from Coastal Carolina into like a legit player. I mean, he's playing every single position. I think he's got a weighted runs created plus or OPS plus above 90. I know that isn't like super impressive to most people, but he's got like 7 games at third, 6 games at short, 6 games at second base, 5 games in right, 5 games in left. He's got a game in center. I don't know if he has catcher gear that fits, but I think he wouldn't be afraid to put it on. Like, this kid's a gamer, and I'm really excited. Narcotics says, dude has power and is pretty fast. Def needs some defensive work, but he's coming around. Yeah, he just seems very athletic. Seems like he's got a lot of twitchiness in his game, and it's very exciting to watch. Let's talk quick about Lenyn Sosa. Lenyn Sosa had a hit, I believe, in the top of the 3rd, was it? No. Top of the 4th. No, where was it? I had Lenyn Sosa stats written down, and now I'm getting absolutely hated on by myself. Okay, whatever. That's great.
He did single today.
And he's had I think he's got like a 333 average in his last 12 games. Of course, I said, oh, we should cut him. I think that was about like 5 or 6 games ago. And of course, here he comes, just absolutely dominating, getting a hit just throughout. Oh, yeah, here it is. Lenyn's last 12 games, 333, 362, 444. Not bad. I think that was right around the time that I said cut him. So maybe we don't cut Lenyn Sosa, but it seems like Bobby Dahlbeck's the next guy cut. And also, there's no one really coming up to push them out. I know Ramos was mentioned in the chat, but I think Ramos needs a little bit of seasoning. Give Ramos a month. Colson doesn't have it yet. Like, those are the next 2 guys that are truly threatening to be on the major league roster. That's why I'm fine with Gage Workman getting a shot on this White Sox team. That's why I'm fine with Lenyn Sosa continuing to be on this team. Someone called me a twerp, and honestly, hey, Lenyn Sosa now in his past 12 games, 333 average, 362 on base percentage, 444 slugging percentage. This twerp will shut up. Okay, so I will live and learn. Yeah, I'm interested. Palacios led off the game with a solo home run today. Again, Sox lose 3-2 in 10. It was an opposite field homer, fastball on the outside corner. It was his 7th 100-mile-per-hour exit velocity in 2025. He has 21 balls in play. I said before the game today, why is he our leadoff hitter and why is he on the team? And that was a nice maybe reminder or showing of why he was possibly on the team. You look at his StatCast data, his bat speed's about league average, so like there's kind of something there. His walk rate is pretty high. His K rate's fairly low. So like I think they like his swing decisions. His contact's like there-ish, but like there's just no impact. And that's what Ryan Fuller's been talking about this weekend to James Fegan. He also talked about it to Len Casper, was the 3 things that they look for in hitters is swing decision, contact, and impact. I am assuming just from looking at his StatCast numbers, they like his swing decision abilities, especially if he's their leadoff hitter. It seems like, I guess, the contact was there. If I'm seeing, a smattering of singles to the left and right side of the field. But it was nice to finally see some power. I didn't know that he had already 6 100-mile-per-hour exit velocity balls in play, but still, like, this is the first one that actually went for extra bases. So that was great to see, but I don't know how real Palacios is. We'll see. I think Bez mentioned that once Talkman comes back or Slater comes back, then Palacios will be gone. So, like, we'll wait it out. But right now, I think the roster's in a fine-ish shape. Feel pretty good about the pitching. I think Penn Murphy's the only true pitcher that makes my stomach churn. But outside of that, like, they're doing okay. I wonder what they're going to do once Perez's turn in the rotation hits. because they just lasted Bryce Wilson. Do they go to Bryce Wilson again? Do they look to call somebody up from AAA? I don't think so. I think it will likely just be Bryce Wilson. But we'll see. I mean, maybe we get Jared Schuster. Maybe we see another opener with Tyler Gilbert. But like that's really the roster so far. Sox did win 10-3 as well. Robert did make up for striking out on 3 pitches to end the game on Friday. Then also he got caught stolen in the 4th, and then the error that I mentioned in the 6th that ended up leading to the tie game. But in Saturday's game, 10-3 win, solo homer in the 1st. Sox scored 4 runs in the 1st. Cannon 7 2/3, 6 hits, 2 walks, 5 Ks. His season ERA is at 4.50. Nice bounce back. We thought the game against the Red Sox was like all right, not great. This was much better. So great to see Cannon kind of bounce back. And then also Gilbert, again, back-to-back opener on Friday. 1 innings pitched, 1 hit, no earned runs, no walks, 2 Ks. Saturday, 1 inning pitched, no hits, no earned runs, 1 walk, 1 K. So Tyler Gilbert was very, very good in that role. Sox next 10, they got 3 against Milwaukee, 3 against Houston, and then they have 4 in Kansas City. So after Sunday, they will be heading to Kansas City. I believe Bobby Witt Jr. has a 19-game hit streak going on. So that should
over under 23.5. It'll be at, or well, it'll be dead.
Well, I'll take the under.
Yeah,
I'll take the under just because it could end today. But I don't know. I mean, maybe we'll be seeing Bobby Witt with a 25-game hit streak. That'd be great. So fun to watch. But yeah, I think that's like the main gist of this series. It was competitive enough. They gave their best effort. And honestly, like I feel like I can say that without being sarcastic. Last year sucked. This being like a true like blow that I wasn't expecting Jordan Leisure to give up a home run like this. It's kind of relieving in a way. It doesn't feel good, but I actually felt like the White Sox could win today. That's a new feeling.
Again, though,
Woo-hoo!
When you look at it, though, the frustrating aspect is this White Sox offense walked into today hitting 181 with runners in scoring position as a team. That number went down today. And that's just what's frustrating, right? They had traffic on the base paths. You want to see some execution, give themselves an opportunity to stay in some games. I'm not saying they're world beaters, but when you get those opportunities, you want to try and cash in. And this White Sox team simply hasn't done that.
No, they haven't. And at least you see Robert come in, drive that run in the 10th. Guy on third base, he's able to at least hit a single. That's fine. But, I mean, even you see how the inning ends. I mean, the guy that should be driving in runs is Andrew Vaughn, and he doesn't. Ever. He sucks. I think we would all like to stop watching him. And 2, he has options. They can send Vaughn down.
It's crazy.
It'd be pretty crazy. It'd be bold. I don't know. I don't think they're going to do that, but I'd be pretty shocked if they sent him down. Because I feel like that'd just be like a big confidence blow. I mean, what does Detroit did it to Torkelson last year, and he was actually able to fix things. I mean, can the Sox actually be help Vaughn to fix things? Does he need to go down to AAA to actually fix those things? I don't know. It's interesting. I don't think they need to get rid of him because Dahlbeck's on the bench. They could just get rid of Dahlbeck and keep Vaughn on the bench. But I mean, they have the options available. I don't know. All right, let's get to the tank. Sox lost 2 of 3 to the A's, which at the end of the day, it means that the White Sox are still in second place of the tank standings. Colorado leads this. They have a 4-23 record after 27 games. They are atop of the tank standings. The White Sox are in second place, 2.5 games behind Colorado. They 7-21 record. Baltimore is 10-17. They are 6 games back of Colorado. Pittsburgh is 11-17, 6.5 games back of Colorado, and St. Louis is 12-16, 7.5 back of Colorado. So your team, your Sox, I mean, they're going to have a pretty decent shot here. You want to be within the top 3 of the worst teams to have the highest tank standings. Do you have the Tankathon website pulled up, Joe?
I do not.
Oh, you're good.
Give me 1 second.
Take your time. We'll do that, and then we'll end the show. We will have a show tomorrow at 4 p.m. Elijah Evans of Future Sox will be joining the show. So we'll talk about Edgar Caro. Caro, too, 6 for 15 in 2 strike counts. The the CHSN broadcast flashed that. The kid is just, got that TW. That's all we're saying. Oh, and I keep forgetting about this. That's right. So whenever Joey flashes this over, he's getting it all set up right now. I forgot the Rockies cannot have the top pick. Oh, happy day. Oh, happy day. This is great. So the White Sox have the best odds to get the number 1 overall pick. Baltimore is in second place. It's so fucking, that's so funny to see. I was saying funny. I was not saying the F.
It is funny.
Baltimore has the second best odds. Pittsburgh, third best odds. Minnesota, fourth best odds. And Miami, fifth best odds. Colorado, St. Louis, Los Angeles, and Washington cannot get top 10 picks, just like the White Sox last year. They had a top 10 pick in the previous year, and because they are a certain market size, they cannot have back-to-back top 10 picks. Or I think it's also, too, if they're such a small market that if you have like 3 in a row, you can't have X amount of top 10 picks in a row. Anyways, Sox have the best odds. Joey, sim that lottery. Go! Hey! We won! We won. You got any? Hit that Duval sound effect, because that's the only one I see. Hit that DJ air horn.
Duval.
Oh, yeah. Hit that DJ air horn. Come on. No, down behind. Yeah. Let's go. Do you have the Panther roll?
Duval.
Thank you, Liam Cohen. See if we have Shriffin's Panther growl. Yeah, we do. There it is.
0-2 from Kopech. Yes, he did. Buddy.
All right, that's going to do it.
It's an immaculate inning.
It was an immaculate inning. Sox get the number 1 overall pick. I think 2026 is supposed to be a lot better draft class than 2025. So you can go to bed tonight dreaming of the number 1 overall pick in the 2026 MLB draft and all the bonus pool money for the 2nd and 3rd and 4th and 5th round. Because remember, it's not about the first overall pick. It's about the bonus pool money, folks. For Joey Christopoulos, I'm Sean Anderson. This has been the CHGO White Sox podcast presented by Bet365. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary with our friends over at Bet365. Are you trying to get me to read these stars?
Only if you want to.
Okay.
We can go real rapid fire.
I got free tickets for Saturday's game. Sean, let me know. I'm coming to town. I don't think I can go, but I hope you enjoy, Luke. Will we ever be mediocre / good again? Tell me when things are going to be okay. About 2 years. I think you see it with Caro, you see it with Mydroth, you don't see it with Colson Montgomery, but you see it with Braden Montgomery. I think that there's light on the horizon. Schultz looks like he can be a true ace. Hagen Smith looks like a true rotation piece. There's pieces there. Leonard, Sean, see Sinners yet? No, I'm scared. Leonard, who's coming with me to see Frank Thomas at Orland Park Binny's to get an autographed bottle of his vodka? We doing a vlog? You want to drive out to Orland Park?
Road trip.
You ever been to that mall?
No, I haven't.
Gorgeous mall.
Oof. Maybe I'll wait until I get my Tim Elko jersey, and then I'll take it to the mall.
Yeah,
and then I'll ride in.
A lovely wishing fountain, penny fountain, then Sox app. So the moral of the story is Sean needs to demand more guys get cut. Yes, Vaughn needs to get cut. Palacios needs to get cut. Penn Murphy needs to get cut. And who else needs to get cut?
Amaya? Did you say that?
Oh, yeah, Jake Amaya. Let's go Jake Amaya. All right. And if any of those guys turn around, it's because I reverse jinxed them. That's not because of their hard work and dedication and natural talent. It's because I reverse jinxed them. Anyways, we'll have a show tomorrow at 4 p.m. on Monday. I will talk to you then. Goodbye.